A very good evening and a very warm welcome to State of Business and Art Television. I'm Savindri Jawat and now let's look at the top stories for the day. Government takes steps to digitalize the agriculture sector. Thailand could be a good market for Sri Lankan gems, Thailand Prime Minister says. News in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe emphasized the urgency of continuing the government's efforts to modernize the agricultural sector, enhance financial stability initiatives to tackle climate change and foster better nutrition. President made this emphasis in a meeting held with officials from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday. President Ranil Wickremesinghe outlined on areas the government requires assistance on digitalizing data in Sri Lanka's agricultural sector. The officials from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation expressed their willingness to support these initiatives, as long as they align with the rules and regulations governing financial assistance and the use of modern technology. They also proceeded to provide pertinent data to back up their stance as well. In addition, the proposed setting up a university dedicated to combating climate change was also discussed at the meeting. Finance State Minister Shehan Semasinghe, President's Chief of Staff Sagala Ratnayaka and the advisor to the President on National Food Security Dr. Suren Bataguda participated in the discussion. In the meantime, the Prime Minister of Thailand, Prayut Chan-o-cha, claimed that Thailand is a very good market for polishing and selling Sri Lankan gemstones, stating that division of labour will help minimize direct competition in the global market. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena held extensive discussions on bilateral relations with the Prime Minister of Thailand, General Prayut Chan-o-cha, in Bangkok, Thailand yesterday. The visit was made to participate in the United Nations Vesak Day celebrations and to discuss strengthening bilateral relations and trade and investment, as well as religious ties between two countries. Thai Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha suggested that cooperation could be encouraged by exploiting various comparative advantages between the two countries. He said Colombo Port City is a great opportunity for all the countries in Asia and many Thai entrepreneurs will invest in Port City. Sri Lanka is Thailand's fourth largest trading partner in South Asia after India, Bangladesh and Pakistan. Sri Lanka and Thailand belong to the Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation, an organization that promotes free trade among its members. The Prime Minister briefed the Prime Minister of Thailand on the plans implemented by the government to recover from the economic crisis and revive economic activity. He also emphasized that the government plans to establish closer economic cooperation with ASEAN member countries. In the meantime, Sri Lanka and China pledged to further consolidate bilateral ties for the mutual benefit of people of two countries. Sri Lanka and China successfully concluded the 12th round of diplomatic consultative sessions between the two countries on 30th May 2023 at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Colombo. The consultations were co-chaired by Secretary Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Sri Lanka, Aruni Vijayawardena, and the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs of China, Sun Weidong. The discussions focused on bilateral cooperation, economic and trade cooperation, current economic recovery process, livelihood assistance, financial support and people-to-people exchanges between the two countries. Vice Minister of China stated that there is opportunity for result-oriented cooperation with Sri Lanka, elaborating on China's path to modernization and successfully alleviating millions of Chinese citizens out of poverty. Foreign Secretary Aruni Vijayawardena appreciated China's assistance to Sri Lanka during the challenging period. She sought support in expanding Sri Lanka's exports to China, particularly the export of Ceylon cinnamon, seafood, fruits and vegetables and gemstones. During the visit, the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs called on President Ranil Wickremesinghe and Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. The visiting Chinese delegation also held constructive engagement with the members of the Sri Lanka-China Parliamentary Friendship Association. Stay tuned, we'll be right back after this break.
IWS Aviation.
Welcome back after the break. The government signed an agreement with the Korea Institute for Advancement of Technology to develop 2 floating megawatt solar power plants in 2 districts. Power and Energy Minister Kanchana Wijesekara made this announcement on Twitter yesterday. A grant of $5.2 million was extended by Korea Institute for Advancement of Technology to the Sustainable Energy Authority to install 2 floating solar plants on the surface of Kiri Ibban Vawa in Monragala and Chandrika Vawa in the Ratnapura district. Power and Energy Minister Kanchana Wijesekara said the project is set to be completed in December 2024. The grant was an outcome of the Framework Convention on Grant Aid signed between the Republic of Korea and Sri Lanka in 2009. The move was also approved by the Cabinet of Ministers at its meeting held on 13 March. Korea Institute for Advancement of Technology is acting as the monitoring agency for the pilot project on behalf of the Korean government. Sri Lanka aims to adapt to 2,800 megawatts of renewable energy into the national grid by 2025. At present, renewable energy generation in Sri Lanka has not exceeded 1,000 megawatts. More into local news, the Colombo stock market suffered its biggest monthly loss in May of 5%, marking second consecutive month of declines as investor sentiment remained besieged. The benchmark all-share price index saw a dip of 4.8%, up from 3.4% in April, and the S&P SL 20 saw a decline of 7.5% against the 2.4% from the previous month. Year to date, the S&P SL 20 has given a negative return of 8%, whilst ASPI has managed to survive with 0.7% again. Average daily turnover in May was 666 million rupees, down from 878 million rupees. The benchmark ASPI gained by 0.26% or over 22 points, and the active S&P SL 20 by less than 1 point, and the turnover was 349 million rupees, involving 33.8 million shares. First Capital and the market commenced the day on a high note but failed to keep up the momentum towards the latter part of the session due to the mixed sentiments observed during the day. The food, beverage and tobacco sector was the top contributor to the market turnover, with the sector index increasing by 0.06%. The capital goods sector was the second highest contributor to the market turnover, with the sector index increasing by 0.24%. Marriott Bonvoy brand ambassador and professional golfer Shiv Kapoor said that it's only a matter of time before Sri Lanka gets international recognition as a golfing destination. He said this speaking to media before the Pro-Am golf tournament organized by Marriott Bonvoy in the Courtyard by Marriott Hotel in Colombo recently.
There's a very rich history of golf, with Royal Colombo Golf Club being one of the oldest clubs in the world. Marriott Bonvoy as an ambassador, I go around the world spreading my knowledge of golf that I've gained over the last 2 decades, and to revive the Sri Lankan Open. So the Sri Lankan Open's had a hiatus of 5 years now, and it's nice to have it back on the schedule. And with the support of brands like Marriott, we're trying to make this event into an international scale event and get some of the best golfers from the region to come. I think this year you've got players from India, Pakistan, Malaysia, Singapore, and obviously the great pool of talent that you have here in Sri Lanka. So the idea would be to scale this event up and make it bigger, and to introduce the Sri Lankan corporates and the businessmen to what golf has to offer. I think it's great to see Sri Lanka open again. I think the tourism is coming back again. It's one of my favorite countries in the world. I think the people here are amazing. The culture, the food is fantastic. There's so many reasons to visit Sri Lanka, and I think it's only a matter of time before Sri Lanka gets discovered as a golfing destination. Like I mentioned, one of the oldest courses. You've got 8 golf courses around Sri Lanka, and golf tourism is ready to boom. And let's hope that in the next decade or so we can really see the graph of Sri Lanka and Sri Lankan tourism go upwards with the help of golf as a medium.
Stay tuned for the stock update.
Connect with SLT Rainbow Pages, your true local surge.
Welcome back. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The All-Share Price Index gained 136.44 points to close at 8,691.61, and the S&P SL20 gained 48.93 points to close at 2,470.42. The turnover was 1.3 billion rupees and over 46 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. And that's all news for today. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Until then, take